What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Moo Legend, Time to Shine Radio, and I have a surprise special guest in the building, Miss T. Marie. What's good?
So the song is How Did I Get Here?
Yes! How did she get here?
I had to come out for the movie. I was like, only the legend can get me to come out. I'm supposed to be at doctor's appointments.
Oh, wait a minute.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Thank you for coming. You know what I mean? So you got to introduce yourself, Miss T. Marie.
Well, for the people who don't know me, I am T. Marie. Started out in radio 2011 doing production. I was on V103 producing some shows. Turned around and had my own radio show. It's T. Marie Radio Show. Started in 2011 as well. And so I've been in media for years. I still do media, but now I'm doing dating coaching, podcasting.
Yes.
Been doing that for a while. It's been really good. And then I just launched my new magazine called Love and Lifestyle Magazine.
Love and Lifestyle. Yes. Come on, get it out. Yes,
I've been around. Some of the people know me, some of the people don't, but you know, I've been around.
She been around. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. So where did all of this start for you? I heard you say you was at V103 and, you know, you've been in media for a long time. Where did it start?
So, you know, I was a communications major at Murray State University. And then I went and finished at the Connecticut School of Broadcasting. I got my broadcasting degree and certification. So when I left there, I was at an internship at V. Okay. So I did my internship at V. I did intern for Ryan, which I love. I love Ryan. And then I wound up being a producer for Elle Duncan for her show at middays.
Oh, okay. So that was his co-host?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
So then when she moved over to the morning show, I transitioned to the morning show producing her entertainment segment and her sports segment. So that's how I got started.
Okay.
Left there. Joyce Littell had her own digital radio show. So I went to do producing and did some live there for her, did some hosting there as well. And that's how I transitioned into my own stuff. So I have a little radio background.
No, that's awesome.
Most people that don't know about. But yeah, I've been doing it for quite some time, 2011.
2011?
Yep.
Wow. So that's like 15 years.
Man, what you said.
Come on.
When people try to say stuff to me, I'd be like, don't say nothing to me.
Pipe it.
I know this game. I've been in this game. I know this game. I've been in this game. I know this game.
She know this game. That's right. Y'all talking to a vet right here.
I'm a vet in real life.
You see it. I love that. So, and then I saw a wine tasting at one point. So tell us about that.
So I have a wine brand that has 3 brands. I have a Moscato Merlot blend, which is amazing. Dang, I got it in the car. I need to get it. I'll bring it to you so you can have that.
We'll take a sip.
Yeah. And I also have a Pinot Blush. And so it's called Tasty Wines. And it's 15% by volume. So it's for the grown and sexy.
Grown and sexy.
Really an amazing wine. It's actually crafted by a black lady out of Texas.
Wow.
And it's something really good. So this has been doing very well as well. I'm like all 2024 from moving forward, it's all multiple streams of income because I ain't trying to work hard. I'm trying to work smarter and doing the things that I love to do. So that's what I've been blessed and been able to do.
Okay. Now, was it hard coming out with your own wine? Like, cause it sounds like that's a whole process.
It is a process, but But you know, it's all about knowing somebody who knows somebody.
Okay.
So really, honestly, I've always loved wines, and if y'all know Q knows somebody who knows somebody. He's like, I know somebody really want to work with you, and I know you want these wines. Right. And so let's get that started. So I went and met with the lady. She doesn't take any and everybody, but she was like, you know what? I know your brand. I know you're gonna do well with this. So let's start.
She believed in you.
She believed in me.
Come on, believe.
And she crafted something that was just for me. So every time somebody drinks it, I tell them, you're not just drinking a wine. You're drinking something that's crafted from my taste palates, you know, from what I birthed. And so it wasn't hard to get in, but it's definitely hard to maintain because there's definitely, you know, rules you got to go through trying to get through the door, trying to get it, you know, in the stores and stuff, distribution, and that's not always easy. You know, black people, we like to gatekeep.
Hello.
We don't share because we're afraid that you might be bigger than
somebody going to try to get you. We already know.
The best part is I just was met with people who weren't gatekeepers and who want to see me grow, and that's how I was able to get the wine.
And so how long did the process start from start to finish?
So from start to finish, I say the brand launched in about took the brand about 4 to 5 months to launch. Okay. 2 years in the game and just getting into distribution.
Wow.
Again, that's all because of knowing somebody, people not gatekeeping, and then knowing somebody who was like, you know what, let me share this with you. And then I had some trials.
Wasn't a hater.
Yeah, and I had some trials in between. My fiance passed away, so there was some things that just kind of happened that was some delays. But what I've always known is delay is not denial.
Come on, Jesus.
And so I don't give up just because there was a stopping point. That's what I call it.
Yes.
It's just a rerouting.
That's it.
Yeah,
rerouting. That's right. Yep. Delayed is not denied.
It's not denied.
Come on, somebody.
No.
I love that.
Yeah.
Life coaching. How did you get into that?
Okay, so I've been doing dating coaching specifically.
Okay.
And that was birthed after. So I have a book called No More Boyfriends. And that book was actually birthed after this relationship that I had been in like almost 2 years, and it didn't develop into anything. Ooh. So I was just like, where did I go wrong? Here I was being this girlfriend and acting like a wife in this whole relationship, and I was trying to figure out what are some things I did. So it actually was a journal to myself that turned into a how-to book, so you would know some of the things to do and not to do in order to get yourself to the point where you want to have not a boyfriend, but a husband. So if you're husband-minded and you're committed-minded, you sometimes have to throw girlfriend, boyfriend out the door, because that's a title that becomes a holding spot. You'll say it's a holding spot. Titles, it makes you become a holding place, because as women especially, when we get in relationships, we make that person our husband without knowing.
That's true.
We'll make that person our partner without knowing, our committed partner, and we start doing these this husband, this wife, duties to somebody who hasn't even decided to take that term on their end yet. Ooh. So we do it without discussion. We do it just feeling like if we do enough, we'll be enough, and this will make it. That's just not the truth.
So what about a conversation? Do you think conversations as far as titles in relationships get lost, or people just try to avoid them? Like, what's your opinion on that?
I think if anybody doesn't want to have the conversation, that's not the partner for you. We're adults here,
right?
And if we're intermingling or whatever we're doing, then we need to be able to have that, hey, so what are we doing?
Right.
And here's the other part. If we have to have that, hey, what are we doing conversation, then that's another red flag, because people naturally transition into those spots, into that relationship, that committed relationship. But sometimes, if you have questions, then you need to ask those questions.
Absolutely.
Don't allow yourself to keep lingering around, hoping, praying, and wishing that it's going to happen.
It's going to come up.
I think if I just keep doing this, what if I add this? Maybe if I do this, maybe, and maybe it'll make it work. But it just doesn't work that way. So we're adults.
Exactly.
You have to be able to talk about what you want.
Exactly. Yeah. And going in too, because a lot of times people like to make decisions for you.
Absolutely, they do. They will.
And that's not cool either, because if someone's married and they didn't tell you that they was married, like, come on, you see what I'm saying? Right.
People will do that. People will make the decision for you if you allow them.
That's true.
Quit sitting back and feeling like you don't have a voice in what has everything to do with you.
It's
your voice.
That's
it's your
true.
life. You have to make the decision.
That's it.
Yeah.
I love that. So what relationship advice do you give to a single woman who's established? Because now a lot of women are independent have their own everything. So what advice would you give to like the independent woman who's open and available, but the dating scene in Atlanta is whack, but what would you say?
So the first thing I always tell people to work backwards, start from what you want. Like anything you do, you have to start with the goal in mind, right? So if you know what the goal in mind is, then you have to know, okay, if this is the goal in mind, what are the steps that I need to take in order to get to that goal? Right? So once you know what those steps are, then you have to start to execute in that manner. So if you know marriage is the goal and you meet a person that's not marriage minded or don't know what they do, then why would you continue to waste time with that person?
Period.
You have to understand that this is your time, and time is something you can't get back. So if it's something that you want, you have to execute in a manner to get that thing. You also have to prepare yourself to be ready for what you're looking for.
Absolutely.
So if you say you want to be a wife, there's some things that come with being a wife. There's some unselfishness. There's some submissiveness that's come with it. There's some things you have to answer to and answer for. You have to be accountable for your time. You have to be accountable for that person. And you have to also understand that relationships are not about what you can get, but it's about what you can give.
Right.
So if you're not set up to give anything, then you're not set up for a relationship.
And so what about having the finances in place? Because you remember back in the day, like women were stay-at-home moms and things of that nature. But now in 2024, a lot of women are successful, and they have that type of mindset. So what about that type of thing?
So when it comes to anything, you have to be able to take care of yourself. Period. Right. Whether you're going into a relationship that somebody else is going to take care of you, or you're going to a relationship that you're going to have to contribute to.
Right.
At the beginning, before you get into anything, you have to be able to have taken care of yourself from the beginning anyway.
Period.
So you're not coming in and doing anything new.
Right.
This is something you had to have done in order to survive on your own.
That's it.
So what you have to be is prepared. A prepared adult.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Prepared,
which
people.
means you've taken care, you paid your bills, you've taken care, you bought your own food, you bought your own clothes, you took care of your own kids. And sometimes some women will go in like, okay, well, I'm looking for a sponsor to go ahead and do everything. Well, what were you doing prior to that?
Right.
Not saying that you can't have that type of relationship.
Right.
But what I'm saying is you still have to be a responsible adult before you go into these relationships.
Right.
And at the end of the day, you still have to have something offered to that man.
That's it.
We think we can show up as women and just be women, and that's enough with a vagina, right? And sometimes with men, they feel like they can show up and just be men, and we're just supposed to submit to them. That's not how it goes.
Right.
You have to have something for somebody to follow as a man, and you have to be able to contribute something as a woman.
Right. Period. Absolutely. Yeah. Now, what about the men that just, like, a lot of men in their 30s and 40s, what I've noticed is like they're not ready for marriage. Like, at what point do they become like, okay, I need a woman? Like, do you run into that?
You can't make anybody be
ready. You can't.
Ready.
No, you can't.
You can't. And I'm not here to talk people into being ready.
Right.
So at the end of the day,
love that.
If you're not ready, then you're not for me.
Okay.
What we got to quit trying to do is change people. And guess what? Change people. Right. Which means I can't change you, but I can change the type of people that I'm looking for to be around. Right.
Love that. Yes,
so you can't make adults be anything.
Right.
And it's not even your job. That's God's job.
Right.
So if a person doesn't realize that's something that they need or they want, it may not even be their goal. Then what can you do about that? It's not for you to try to, convince them. It's for you to find somebody who's looking for the same thing that you are. And unfortunately, a lot of men in that age group have been divorced, have gone through hard divorces, have been through a couple of relationships that soured them, and now they're just at the point where, you know what, I don't want to do anything, so I don't know what I want. To their own demise, though, because oftentimes what they've done is chosen people or chosen a woman that wasn't their type, or they were out of their league, or wasn't ready for them, or they weren't ready for them. So now what you've done is you've taken your shit, excuse my language, and now you want to pass that on to me. Now I got to prove something to you. No, I don't.
Right.
No, I'm not. No, I'm going to let you have that little, and I'm going to keep on going over that way. Yeah.
So dating apps. What do you think about dating apps?
I'm not opposed. I've actually had success off dating apps.
Oh, really?
I was into I
we
didn't say we got married, but what I will say is that we didn't get married. We didn't make it all the way. You know about that.
Yes, sir.
Now I tell people all the time, watch out for people like me, because I used to be a food digger, baby. I will go eat with anybody. Be Kermit the Frog. I'll be sitting up there talking about, so Kermit, what you like? Oh, yeah. So you have to watch out for people like me, because they exist.
Yes, they do exist.
I used to be that.
Yes.
I'm a changed woman.